What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. And today I'm going to do a review on this Erik Nording signature freehand pipe. This was a pipe that I won from Amy Mac's contest, or one of the contests that she did. And I've smoked it quite a bit over the time that I've had it, or since I've had it. So I figured now would be a good time to do a review on it. So, like I stated before, this is an Erik Nording pipe. As you can see, it's got a semi-rusticated finish to it. It's rusticated in the middle portion where this bend goes into the stem, but they left the outside, or the rest of it, smooth. You can see there's the signature portion of the pipe. This is actually Sharpie, like the fine point Sharpie marker, and it's actually signed. It's not, I don't think it's done by a machine. It doesn't look like it's done by a machine. Like I said, it looks like it's done with one of those fine tip Sharpies, so pay attention when you go to clean this pipe. Additionally, it does have an acrylic stem with the logo on the front, or on the top I should say. As far as dimensions go, this is approximately 6 inches in length. In height, it's about 2.5 inches. Weight's about 2 ounces, and they say that the bowl is supposed to be about 1 inch wide. And I guess it kinda is, but maybe you can see by the light shining here, it's kind of beveled, and it kind of rounds and flares out a little bit at the very top. And they're basically calling the very edge of this bevel to the very edge of this bevel the width of the chamber. That's not full cake buildup. There's some cake in this pipe. You know, that being said, it did come carbon coated, but there is a little bit of cake in there, but mostly what you're seeing is the actual bowl itself. Like I said, it kind of tapers in terms of the very top of it. Maybe you can see it better in this angle. So, and I'm not saying you can't smoke tobacco at the very tip top of this chamber, but the majority of the chamber is probably closer to 0.85 or 0.9 inches wide. As far as depth goes, it's about 1 3/4. I would say dimension-wise, it's pretty close to what an average dimension or an average shape bowl would be, just in a much larger package. So what I mean by that is most billiards, for example, a lot of pokers even, they have kind of this U shape to them. They usually run somewhere between 0.7 and 0.8 in chamber diameter, and they're about twice the depth as they are the chamber diameter. So if they're 0.75 in diameter, a chamber that is, the depth is usually going to be about 1.4 or 1.5 inches. And you get kind of the same thing with this. Again, if you take into consideration the fact that this chamber has that extreme bevel to it at the very top, if you take that into consideration, the ratio of chamber diameter and chamber depth is about 1 to 2. But it is a very, very big bowl. With that being said, it's a hefty pipe, it's a big pipe, but I find that it holds really well, especially these little crevices that the Nording factory left on the pipe. Those tend to hold very well as far as putting your fingers on them. I like to put my index finger on this groove right here and put my thumb here and kind of let the rest of the pipe, this curvature along where the bowl and the shank connect, I like to kind of keep that in the palm of my hand, and it holds very well. As far as clenchability, I would say for a hefty pipe, especially a pipe that's kind of, it's out very far. It's very far away from the face. I would say it's about average. Clenching this pipe is kind of difficult, though. I found it to be difficult mainly because of the way this bit is shaped. It tends to want to basically slide down my teeth. Like that. But I can clench it. I just gotta be careful how I do it. I don't necessarily, I know people are gonna ask, but the reason I don't like softy bits is because, to me, it just thickens the stem too much. And sometimes I don't know, I just haven't had a lot of success with softy bits. But that being said, if you are a fan of softy bits and you happen to find this pipe and you want to make it more clenchable, that might be a good option. Additionally, as far as cleaning this whole thing goes, it will accept a pipe cleaner while you're smoking it. See if I can find the pipe cleaner that I was using. I'll just grab a new one. It will accept a pipe cleaner, but it's very, very picky about how you do it. It's kind of difficult to get it in there. You kind of have to bend it a little bit like this at the tip. Then you got to put it in sideways. Bend it so that the bend in the pipe cleaner matches the bend in the pipe, and then you'll hit kind of a ridge. You got to twist it a little bit. And then you just gotta move it back and forth and twist it until eventually, oh no, oh, there you go. So you can get a pipe cleaner in there, but it doesn't just slide in. For a pipe that's about, a 3/4 bend, that's awesome. Especially a pipe like this. With that being said, I don't know if it's just this pipe or if it's other Nording freehands in general. Maybe you guys can comment down below, but this pipe in particular, when I tried to take the stem off, I found it to be very difficult, and it's getting tighter and tighter. I'm going to have to do something about that eventually. Maybe ream out the shank, or not the shank, the, I can't remember what it's called. The hole where the tenon goes into. I'm going to have to ream that out eventually very, very lightly, but right now, as of the recording of this video, in order for me to take the stem out, I have to leave it in my freezer for like an hour or two. Or when it was winter time, I just left it outside, again, for about an hour or two, and that was usually enough to where the stem was loose enough to take it off. Other than that, it's not a bad pipe. I will say this, though. It does smoke almost everything perfectly. A lot of Kia can be real hit and miss. It just doesn't really bring out the lot of Kia in certain blends. Or actually in a lot of Kia blends. But everything else, genre-wise, it'll smoke absolutely perfectly, but it especially likes dry, ribbon, or shag cut tobaccos, something that packs really well, and that's because it tends to get fairly wet on the bottom. But like I said, other than that, it smokes everything absolutely perfectly, and that's not to say that you can't smoke, something like, what do I have out here that's a fairly wet blend? Like this Rainier Levant, or Levant. You can smoke that in this pipe, you just gotta make sure you dry it out pretty good. But in conclusion, if you can find these pipes, they're awesome, and I highly recommend finding them. I believe they retail for less than $100. I don't know, because once again, I received this pipe as a giveaway contest prize from Amy Mack. I think her channel is actually called Pipe Practices and Pitfalls. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I'll link it down below if I remember. But, again, I recommend this pipe, especially if you're looking for a large chambered pipe, but you don't necessarily want something that's too obnoxious or unwieldy. I found this pipe to be very comfortable to smoke. It doesn't clinch the best, but it does hold the best, and it makes for a great smoker. So, with that being said, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. My next review is going to be Stonehaven, another Esoterica blend. With that, you guys have a good day.